Welcome to Chris Parkin Shooting Sports. Today something a bit different. We've got a chassis come from MDT. This is the HNT-26 chassis system, which means it stands for it weighs 26 ounces. Now I've seen this at a few shows and it is extremely light, combination of materials. We're going to have a look at this full in depth, but I thought I'd open it up and I'll maybe put it on the rifle for you. So here we are, we've got the metal component for the back end, which weighs absolutely nothing virtually, and it says do not over tighten here, and then this we've got the carbon fibre element for the front end. So I'm going to dig out a Remington 700 rifle, of which I have a few, and see which one is going to be the most appropriate to put this on, and then we're going to go and take it shooting. So that is super light. This is the folding version of the stock, so I can put that round to the side. Has it folded in two sections by the look of it? Yeah, folds in two pieces. Pop that off for now. So that is going to make a really super short rifle for carrying, stalking around. This is a Remington 700 inlet. There are other inlets available, so it's probably best I'll put the details on for the Hound Outdoors website, which will show you them all. But essentially, looking at this, we've got carbon fibre forend, we've got a load of M-lock in it, we've got the sling stud there for a bipod as well. There are also QD sling studs either side. Just pop that down, and then on the back end we've got what looks like an AR-15 compatible grip. That's actually a hollow carbon fibre one, and we've got an adjustable cheek piece on the top and a recoil pad at the back, which is grippy. Doesn't look like it's adjustable, but we can see about that. We've got a bag rider, sort of, it's not really a butt hook, but we've got an area to put your hand there to hold the rifle in. And we've got quick release stud anchor points there. So it looks like that's adjustable with Allen keys perhaps in there, and I'll have a look and see what comes with it in the little magical box. Right, so we have recoil pad spaces to change the length of pull, which is nice, and then here we've got a variety of fasteners and action screws which will fasten the stock together, and then that will make it operable to use. So I'll do this live on camera, but I'll probably speed it up afterwards because there'll no doubt be a load of little hiccups and points, but if we film it and do it fast, it might be fun to watch. And then I'm going to take it out shooting this afternoon, see if there's any sort of major point of impact difference from my Zero before, because I've got a Remington 700 223 Wild actually, which is one rifle I do like shooting a lot. It is actually here, so that's it currently in its Macmillan stock, and that's bedded in there, so I'll be taking that out and let's see how we go with it. Right, cue high speed motion. Just want to check bolt operation on that, make sure those aren't intruding within the action. They seem fine. Pop that out for the moment. Find the correct Allen key. So that is the rear end. Now this is AICS compatible. That is a 223 AICS magazine, and that is now in there. There's a big magazine release on the front here, which is ambidextrous. That's going to take that in and out. Leave that out for the moment. Let's put the front end on. This is all very nicely, looks like hand-laid carbon fibre. Been very neatly trimmed and cut, and it's got all sorts of profiles here, so it should lock together into this, because this is going to be a supporting fact, remember, because you're going to be holding the rifle by this. Oh, hang on, we need to put that over there, don't we? And there we are, we're on. Next fasteners. Looks like those. Do not over tighten, finger tight only. Let's just pop that off. Grab an Allen key, or is that a Torx for those? Looks like a T15 Torx. Which is over there. This is the joy of a live unboxing and checking out video, because it's not all planned. So I'll just pop that in. I'm not going to tighten that up too much. There's another one to go in on the underside here. Remove the other sticker, which again says do not over tighten, finger tight only. So, well, finger tight, that's a very vague phrase. So you can see this, my fingers are on there, finger and thumb. Some people will have stronger fingers than others though. And that is finger tight only. Right, so there we go. Let's just pop the bolt back in. That works. Pop the magazine back in. That works. We'll probably just clean that off before we take it shooting. Bit of sticky label there. And there we go. So that is now a super light stock. But I'm going to complete this. Let's put the bipod on it. My good old trusty Harris bipod. Often copied, never bettered. Strong, tough, durable. They do not mess around, these things. Let's tighten that back on there. Pop the legs down, and there we go. That is apparently the finished product. So, length of pull on that looks reasonable, but let's just have a little look with the measuring tape. 12.5 inches, so we're going to want some spacers on that. Quite likely. Looks like we get longer screws as well. We also got an additional rear stud there. That looks like that is going to screw into that to put the sling on with, perhaps. Right, what's the fastener for these spacers? Let's have a look at the additional screws. It does come with longer screws. That's an Allen fastener. Looks like 1/4 inch, it is. Let's take that off. It's got a washer on it. That comes off there. So there are some little anchor points on these so that they all line up and stay aligned. It looks like it's probably going to go that way around. Do those actually line up with anything specific in there? There's a washer to go on these extra long screws. You can, there's a hook system on these, so you can actually hook them on and off. Let's just put that one in. long screw washer. Slot that through there. And these will screw down in position. See what maximum length of pull is with all 4 spacers in. Right, that's all 4 spacers, and length of pull now is still only 13.5 inches, which is 340 millimeters. So it's not mega long, but it's pretty typical of the US market, although I think these are Canadian, aren't they? Interestingly, if I can dig it out somewhere, I reviewed one of the first MDT chassis units probably 10 or more years ago. And if you compare one of those to what these look like now and the huge MDT range, you'll be a little bit gobsmacked, but there we go. So I'm going to take this shooting now, and it is quite a nice looking thing. I've got no issues there with my scope mounting as it was before. I've still got clearance on the barrel. I've just got the Butler Creek is a little bit, or it's Tenebrex this, but Tenebrex is a little bit snug there, but we could always have put higher mounts on that if we'd have wanted to. But essentially, that is now what I have got. So let's get some ammo. It should be zeroed, and we'll go and take it shooting, because now we've got a very lightweight stock, although it's not the lightest of rifles, because this is actually a fairly chunky barrel on this one. The barrel on this one is it must be 20 millimeters plus. 22mm barrel. Short barrel, it's a 20-inch, and that is a 223 Wild. So it's pretty similar to a normal 223, just slightly different case specification, or a slightly different throat and lead specification rather. Let me just see if I can figure out the easy way to open and close this stock, because there seems to be a little bit of a knack to it. I need to press that button on the top there. That locks there, and then that locks round there. Let's have a little look at the adjustable cheek piece and just see how that manoeuvres itself. There's no locking screws in that side, the locking screws are in this side. I think I need to get some different Allen keys to do that, but we'll do that and we'll set that up on the video. 1 second. So there's a small grub screw down in there, and that will lift up and lift all the way out. There's no windage adjustment on that, or lateral adjustment on it, so that will pop in there. Let's just put it about that place, see what it looks like. Of course, it's a lightweight stock. It's not designed with all the additional finger adjustability. This is designed to be set up and used, because of course putting extra adjustability on it, or finger adjustability, would add weight to it. But that is actually a really comfortable alignment on that cheek piece, because it's a narrow cheek piece. It fits under your jaw, under your cheekbone, not without displacing your jaw. And there is also, it's got like a soft foam cover on it as well, so it feels very comfortable to touch. So I am now going to take that shooting. There's an ambidextrous magazine release caps there, and the chassis is compatible with AICS magazine systems. This one's in 223, but they're just as common as short action 308 or Creedmoor. We've got a good solid bag rider here, so I can adjust the elevation on the stock easily. I've set the recoil pad up for length of pull that suits me. I can just snug my hand around it, so I've got a good grip there. It just keeps it eased into my shoulder as well. I don't really want to drop all the brass in the mud today. Certainly no problem with function or feed from the magazine, ejection. Nothing's affected in the rifle's action, the normal working process. The trigger's also unaffected, and I've got full access to the safety catch as normal. Although it's a carbon fibre stock and there's a certain amount of hollow nature to it, it's not actually giving off a dead, awful sort of ringing sensation from it. It's actually maintaining a good solid feel without resonance, which I do quite like. I think some people might prefer a rubber grip here though, perhaps give you a little bit more tactile impression. But you know, if you're going for an AR-15 type of setup, that's going to be really comfortable for anybody. I do like that cheek piece though, it's a really nice shape and it's a good texture as well. I'm getting excellent position on the rifle. So I've been out shooting it, what can I tell you? Well, I've got the laptop open so I can read you all the marketing blurb off the website if you like, but I will put a link to the stock in the description. This one's been distributed in the UK by Highland Outdoors from MDT in Canada. Essentially, I quite like it. It is a chassis for people who like chassis but want it for hunting purposes. And some of the marketing terms refer to things about, you know, it's snag free, so it's not going to catch on your clothing, things like that, catch on your bags, foliage. It is very lightweight. 26 ounces is about 740 grams. So it really does give you a light rifle. Interestingly, this has got a heavy barreled rifle in it, so it's not a particularly light rifle overall, but of course realistically if you want that super light hunting rifle, you're going to go for a light barreled rifle or maybe even a carbon barrel. The forend is very stiff, you've got all the accessory space to the M-lock, there's no problem shooting with a bipod, the rifle is stable, and that forend there is as rigid as I could want one to be. The magazine system works well, there doesn't seem to be any slop in any of the junctions, and it's available in either a left or right handed stock actually, so you can have it with the alternate side bolt of course. In terms of the folding, it's available with or without folding. I think you might want to have it folding because it does of course make the rifle very much more compact and, you know, easy to store if you're you know, wanting to have a fairly discreet looking travel case, because I know sometimes when you're going in and out of hotels, having a long rifle case it's a surefire way of gaining attention, whereas a shorter case, I mean, that's like a big suitcase size, isn't it? Just keeps things a little bit more discreet for you. I like the fact that the back end on it locks, so that once you've got used to the system, you can unlatch it, and I need to press the top one there, don't I? Once you get used to it, unlatch it, fold it straight back out, and it is totally rigid. There's no resonance on it, it is foam filled, so you do get a kind of dead feel to it. There's no real recoil resonance, there's no vibration through your cheek, and I do really like this cheek piece with the foam top on it. Length of pull maxes out at 13.5 inches, which I think is a little bit short. I suppose if you want to, there's probably the possibility of adding more spacers, but you will need a longer screw for that, a longer bolt for that. 13.5 inches is very indicative of the US market. European rifles tend to be a bit longer, they tend to go up sort of 365, 14 inches ish. I suppose it's a cultural thing, a little bit in the different ways of hunting and shooting. When I see US shooters shoot prone, they go very straight behind the rifle. Europeans tend to be a little bit more, you know, off the side behind the rifle, perhaps as a trend, but you know, there's no right and wrong way of doing it. It's just some of the trends I seem to notice. Things I don't like about it, I'm not really a fan of the grip. It feels a bit slippery, it's hollow carbon fibre, and I think with a rifle mine, I think I would want it with a rubberised grip on it, but it's AR-15 compatible, and I don't see that as a big issue. Frankly, if you're going to have a chassis type stock on a hunting rifle, I think MDT have done a very good job with this. I certainly didn't have any doubts or displeasure shooting it. In terms of return to zero, the action's gone in very easily. It took 2 shots, I think, that were just off the bull, 100 meters, before it kind of just settled and stayed in, and I shot some steel with it. So there was no, you know, hassle setting it up at all. All the screws supplied for the receiver to go into the stock are the correct length. They've got washers on them, so there's no case of fouling the bolt. And just to refer to the website, this is available in inlets. Let me just have a quick look here now. So we've got actions. The different action options are Remington long action, Remington short action. We've got Savage short action, Savage long action, and Tikka T3 short and long actions as well. So that does cover very popular rifles, certainly with the Tikkas and Remingtons for the UK market, and the US market does still love the Savage. We don't see many Savages here, but you do see a few in PRS, and they are generally pretty accurate rifles, to be honest. As I say, I will put a link on the description for this so you can see all the details and colours of it. The matte finish is non-reflective, and it does offer, I mean, it's not grippy like a sort of checkered finish is, but it's matte, and it doesn't sort of feel slippery to the hand. And as I say, I've spoken about the grip already. The magazine system works perfectly well. I'm totally happy with that, and it is ambidextrous. You've got a huge cutout here as well if you've got any adjustment of any trigger to do. Adjusting with an Allen key at the back end for cheap piece height's not a problem. Yes, it saves weight, it's the whole point, it's a lightweight stock, and I don't think you're going to be chopping and changing that between shooting in the field. It's available in cobalt green or carbon fibre. Other factors mentioned here. Now this is the standard version. You can have it also with an Arca rail on the underside. Again, that moves back into the sort of PRS chassis world, but a lot of people use bipods and tripods with Arca fitting now. So if that's part of your hunting scenario, go for the Arca one, because it does give you a really stable, secure fitting. And I think that is pretty much it. So I hope that gives you all, you know, a good real world opinion from me on this stock chassis unit without just reading out the marketing blurb to you. I'm very happy using it, and I think if you want to add it to one of your rifles, I don't think it'd be disappointing. I'm not going to quote you the price because the price is totally dependent on exchange rates and imports, exports, and I don't deal in terms of, I don't sell anything. So that's your lookout to contact the distributor in your country. But this is the MDT, and the official name is the MDT, let me find it again here, it is the MDT HNT-26 chassis system. So, I hope you've enjoyed that review. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe and comment on my channel to make sure you keep the algorithm going and that you see all my latest videos, which are coming up usually 1 or even 2 a week sometimes. And when I get the chance on a Wednesday evening, I will be doing the live videos again. Right, thank you very much for watching. See you later.